of teaching it to children. It's a question of not ruining them. It's a question of not unteaching it to them. Kids come into the world with unbelievable perception and all the instinct I discussed. They have all of it already. They're filled with they're like a perfect canvas just waiting to get painted on. The problem is the paint is usually not the right paint. We teach them all these things that actually tend to diminish them, or we hurt them, or we disencourage their vulnerability. We say things like, stop crying. Don't be a crybaby. There's nothing to cry about. Toughen up. Get tough. And we actually encourage young children to put up these fences, these barricades, this armor. We encourage them to put on armor. Okay, and the more armor they put on, and that armor comes in the form of this ego, listen, ego. I'm not saying ego is all bad. Kids do need to learn how to, understand. Okay, I'm a separate body which needs to eat. I need food. I need to compete for my amount of food in this world. All that, it's okay. It's fine. But basically, if we can teach a child from the youngest age that their feelings are fine, that if they're afraid, that's fine to feel afraid. That if they're feeling anxiety, they're humans. Human beings are these big ball of billions and billions of nerve cells. I mean, we're going to feel stuff. We're going to feel things that we don't define as pleasant to feel. We're going to feel things that are frightening. We're going to feel anxiety. We're going to feel feelings that are uncomfortable. Uncomfortableness is part of the human condition, and it is a real part of the human condition because we got nerves, and we're going to bump into walls, and we're going to have people, say things to us that hurt us. If we teach children that having those feelings is good, and that it's not better to feel happy than sad, it's just different to feel happy than sad. It's not better to feel, excited than afraid. They're really two sides of the same coin, I remember when I used to be on the swim team, I'd go there and I'd be on the block ready to jump in and waiting for the gun to go off. I was terrified. The water was cold. I was dry. I was terrified I might lose. It was all this competitiveness. I was terrified. Well, of course I was. If I wouldn't have been, there would have been something wrong with me. And yet we think there's something wrong with us. We think there's something wrong with us when we feel anxious in a situation that would make anyone anxious. No, there's nothing wrong with us. There'd be something wrong with us if we didn't feel anxious. But we need to allow kids to be who they are. We need to encourage that when they're feeling those feelings, those are beautiful things. Those are powerful things. Those are wonderful things that they're feeling, even if they don't feel so wonderful. We need to teach humankind to embrace and love those parts of themselves that they tend not to embrace and love. All of us love it when we wake up one day in a great mood and we're happy and excited and we're thrilled. And all of us love that. And all of us don't like it when we wake up and feel, oh God, oh my gosh, it's a hard day. But if we can learn just to forgive the present moment, just to forgive it, like, hey, it's okay. Today I feel a little anxiety. It's okay. That's part of it. That's part of what the human experience is about. And I want to partake in the whole human experience because the whole human experience is the thing that begets a really beautiful, interesting, valuable life of growth and abundance. Power, well, that's no fun either. And but the best foods in the world, if you look at them, are foods that are a balance between fat, salt, and acid, right? It's like, I'll take a funny example, like a hot dog. A hot dog is fat with a lot of salt in it. And what do we dip it in? Well, we dip it in mustard, or ketchup, both of which are highly acidic, fat, salt, and acid. That mixture of fat, salt, and acid, it makes a great meal. Even ice cream, it's sweet, but it's loaded with salt. And what do we put on it? Chocolate sauce. Chocolate sauce is very, what's the word? It's got acidity to it. It's got, that bite to it if it's, semi-sweet chocolate. And that hot fudge sundae tastes great, but it's better than the most important thing in the world for human beings. It is our struggle. Our struggle is not saying we should run away from. Struggle is the thing that makes us beautiful. Struggle is the place from which we derive wisdom. Struggle is where all of the richness comes from. Struggle. We're here on earth to struggle. That's why we're here. We're here to struggle, and from that struggle, to grow, to learn, to become the fullest version of ourselves.
I love that response, Monty. That's beautiful. And Lisa, thank you so much as a member of Mind Valley for interviewing Monty with me. This is great. So for all of you else who are watching this interview, we're actually also broadcasting this moment live on my Instagram. So Lisa, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see yourself interviewing Monty. I put you guys both live because I thought Monty's response to this question would be so relevant to anyone out there. And not just for people who are parents, but, just as an overall philosophy to bring into life. So I'm going to say bye to the Instagram audience. Those of you watching, this is the Mind Valley members interviewing Monty Moran, who built Chipotle, the $35 billion incredible Mexican restaurant chain, one of my favorite places to eat. And